Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'aventure? Ah, monsieur le président, un pauvre qui vote pour celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Ah, monsieur le président, l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux, vraiment. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux, wonderful. À la présidence, il y a un vieux. Dans tout le gouvernement, il y a que des vieux, des vieux, des vieux. Des jeunes pris le chemin de la Libye, devenus des esclaves. Des jeunes de la route du désert pour entrer en Europe.
Hi. Good day to the beautiful people of the Cameroons. Good day to the beautiful people of British Cameroons and the beautiful people of La République du Cameroon. Ladies and gentlemen, today I have come to talk about how do you know if a presidential candidate in the Cameroons is lying? How do you know if a presidential candidate in the Cameroons is lying? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lisinge, the leader of British Cameroon National Party, a party that wants equal status between British Cameroon and La République du Cameroon, a party that believes that two countries came together. A country, British Cameroon, that had a political authority under Dr. Ndeli, a House of Parliament, House of Chief, a territory and a population. And La République du Cameroon that was under Prime Minister Amadou Ahidjo with a political authority, a territory, and a population. So ladies and gentlemen, that is what British Cameroon National Party, they believe in. We believe the people of British Cameroon decided to join La République du Cameroon through a plebiscite. Let me join it, let's call it referendum. I always say a referendum is different from a plebiscite. But for the sake of this political broadcast, party broadcast, I will say referendum. So if you decide to marry, you can decide to leave. Nobody can ever stop you. That is a fact. Forget what somebody says. Anybody on earth, you can never force any person. The people of British Cameroon, they decided to join you. I understand the people of British Cameroon, we don't all have the same political opinion. Whether it is in Britain, America, European countries, everywhere, they have different political opinion. There are people in Britain who want an indivisible United Kingdom. That's their political opinion. There are people in Britain that they want an indivisible Britain, United Kingdom, some want independence, and some want decentralization or federalism, how we call it. That is what happens in a democracy. You don't kill people because they want an indivisible, independent, or democracy. In a democracy, people are different. And I always make it, people should stop calling where I come from or where my dad come from that we Southwesterner, we say this. Southwesterner is a region. It's an administrative unit. You cannot be a Southwesterner. You can either be from Manu, you can be a Bakwere, Lebialem. You are your tribe. You cannot be administrative unit. They can always change administrative unit. They do that in the United Kingdom. They do it in the United States. They do it everywhere. We are our ethnicity. Then two countries came together. There have never been anything like reunification because you cannot reunify something that was not existing. When you look, They say German Cameroon. Who was that Bakure man or Betty man like Pobia or Aijo? Or who was that person who was that president? Political authority in that German Cameroon. It was a slave plantation. Whether it's Portuguese, whether it's British, all of them, they were slave plantation. Until the day Dr. Ndedi became Prime Minister of British Cameroon, it became a full, complete country. And Aijo became President and Prime Minister of La République du Cameroon, it became a country. So that's when we became a country. So you cannot talk about reunification. We insist, those are our policies in British Cameroon National Party. A lot of people lie. Whether you say you're a professor or you're what, we think outside the box. Reunification is an English word. You cannot reunify something that was not existing. It's a fact. So those who talk about reunification are lying. Two countries came together and we are willing and always open to have that debate. To go back for our topic of today, how do you know presidential candidate in La République are lying? There are three factors which I'll tell you how you know they are lying. One, they will never talk about the Anglophone problem. Two, they will never talk about the French Cooperation Agreement. And three, they always talk about federation. Federalism will develop the country. That is a lie. And I'll tell you why. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll start by the French Cooperation Agreement. It is still there. These people, they come and say they want to be president. They want to be president of the Cameroons. But they don't tell you what they will do with this. They just do this behind the scene. They know they are in France's pocket. They are afraid to come and be open. Like myself, the leader of British Cameroon National Party, to tell you that this is what we will do. Firstly, you know they don't want to talk about French Cooperation Agreement. That's when you know this so-called presidential candidate in the Cameroons, they are lying. The French Cooperation Agreement between La République du Cameroon and France, it doesn't concern British Cameroon. We were not part of it. It says that France shall determine the political, economic, and socio-cultural orientation. In La République du Cameroon, take note, not British Cameroon. Is France still determining the political orientation? Yes, we have evidence. Mr. Biya is Mayor Eleve de Mitterrand. Yes, we have evidence. Mr. Biya, after the national dialogue, je m'en vais rendre compte à, how do you call him, Mr. President Macron. President Macron is the de facto president of the Cameroons. He's the real president. How can Mr. Biya say is the president of the Cameroons? Then you organize a major national dialogue. You say you're going to tell a foreign president in another country. It tells you they still control the economy. Economic-wise, the money, everything of France, CFA, CEMAC, they still control it. Social-cultural orientation, they still control it. When they say we are Cameroonian, what brings us together? All the things they do is things that they inherited from France. The French Cooperation Agreement also said that France shall manufacture our money. That money was created in 1945 in France. La République was not even independent. In 1959, La République, when they were still a country under Amadou Ahidjo, they signed that France shall manufacture their money. Not the money of British Cameroon. Not the money of British Cameroon. Not the money of British Cameroon. So why are they imposing? All these presidential candidates, none of them, they don't come and talk that, okay, British Cameroon will use their own money. Maybe we want to use pounds. Maybe we want to use now naira. That will be a matter of British Cameroon. Scotland is in the United Kingdom. They have different money from England, but they are all under United Kingdom. So there's nothing wrong to be under one country. Two countries are under one union. There's nothing wrong with that. So if the people of British Cameroon decide that that they want to be together in future, they can decide that they want to use different money from French Cameroon because we were not part of that agreement to use franc CFA. Then again, the cooperation agreement signed between Aïdjo, La République in 1959, we were not part of them all. They said France shall guide and determine Cameroon's educational system at all levels. When you look at their education, ENAM is from France. They inherited from France, that's their education. ENS is from France, that's their education. ERIC is from France, that is their education. Military Tribunal, which is through ENAM, they train people, is from France, that is their education. So those things are still there. But none of these presidential so-called candidates, they will come and talk. How are we going to solve it? They don't. They are looking to go and chop their own money like chop people their money. They say France shall prioritize, La République du Cameroon shall prioritize France to use the natural resources. France still have that priority. They can say, oh, they give it to other people. Yes, but France still control their economy. France still do their monetary policy, interest rate. If they want to devalue the money of the Cameroons, France have to decide. So, ladies and gentlemen, these things were decided by the political authority of La République du Cameroon. British Cameroon was not part of it. That's the Anglophone problem. Then, again, if you want to overthrow the government of La République du Cameroon, France will assist them militarily. Not only them, Gabon too. I saw former President Thabo Mbeki. He said, he talked about this thing. He was surprised that even in Senegal, France used to have a base there in case anything happened. The military person, attaché or whatever, have to intervene. So they are still there to intervene. That is their job. Nothing have changed. We are still the same way we used to be under the colonial regime. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't want to talk about the Anglophone problem. You know, the Anglophone problem is still part of this cooperation agreement. We don't mind. I cannot speak for the whole people of British Cameroon. But I look at it, some people in British Cameroon have different opinion. People want an indivisible, people want federation, people want independence. It is normal. In America, it's the same thing. In Britain, it's the same thing. In Europe, it's the same thing. That's what we call democracy. But again, my point is, La République du Cameroon cannot force us inside the CEMAC, France CFA, their educational system, everything. That is the Anglophone problem. And no presidential candidate, none of them, they are not talking about it. Oh, when I be president, you want to be president. What are you going to do? Come and tell us. We, British Cameroon National Party, will tell you, if we are running the Cameroons, we'll make sure we have equal status. That country called British Cameroon, that was under Dr. Ndeli, will be separate as institutional-wise. That's what I'm talking. Separate in that sense. The same as Scotland, they are doing their own thing. They have their own money. They have their own football team. England, they have their own money. They have their own football team. They control their own thing. Different institution. That's how it works. That's what British Cameroon will do. So, presidential candidate in the Cameroons, what do you say about French cooperation agreement? What do you say about Anglophone problem? If you don't say it, you people are liars. You people are playing 419. And that's why Mr. Biya will always defeat you people. You people just go behind, you play the scene, you accompany Mr. Biya, and you endorse Mr. Biya. That's what you people are doing. Because you're not better off than Mr. Biya. The next point, you see most of them, the so-called presidential candidate, oh, we'll give federalism. What does federalism mean? Oh, federalism will develop the country. Federalism does not develop a country. Federalism means transfer of power. If you transfer power to people who are corrupt, unelected governors, unelected SDO, unelected NGOs, the same thing will happen. King Leopold of Belgium was a dictator. He developed his country. Federalism is not about development. I will tell you what federalism is. The people who constructed the United Kingdom, they were dictated to absolute monarchy. Nearly the whole Europe was developed by absolute monarchy. So federalism is not about, it doesn't necessarily mean, Nigeria is our neighbor, they have federalism. Is Nigeria, can you compare Nigeria with Singapore? Or with others, most of these Asian countries? Can you compare Nigeria with these Arab countries where you have this monarchy there? No. So federalism does not necessarily develop a country. If you have people with good heart, patriotic people, people who love the country, maybe the country might develop. So if you think federalism develop a country, that's not true. What federalism rather does, it makes checks and balances. It gives power to grassroots. And if those grassroots people are good, if they know how to govern, then they will not wait from the capital or Yaoundé to tell them what to do. They might be able, it depends on the power that they give you, to raise local taxes. And when you raise your own taxes, you can decide, do you want a road? Do you want airport? Do you want underground? Do you want hospital? So local people will decide on certain things. That is what federalism does. It's not like Minister of Finance, the one that is being controlled by France, will go to Boya. Oh, I will build a road in Limbe and Victoria. No, you don't, it doesn't concern you. Federalism, it depends what power you have. Might say, give you that power, then local people, you only have your own budget, or if you can raise local taxes, you use it, you decide on your constituency or your council or your local government how to use their money. That's what federalism will give you. But federalism does not guarantee independence with crooks. So ladies and gentlemen, you see all these people, they come and talk. They want to put their personality. They cannot debate with one another. Maître Mola Alex Ndivelisinger, the leader of British Cameroon National Party, I have invited all of them. Let's have this political debate on economy, on education, on health, on taxation, on transport, on judiciary, on environment, on fishery. You name the rest. All of them, they are afraid to come and debate. A presidential candidate cannot be afraid to debate with Maître Mola Alex Ndivelisinger. Gone are those days, those old style, old leadership that they will come and talk, oh, I will stand. If you vote somebody who cannot tell you what he's going to do, why are you voting for the person? Don't like Maître Mola Alex Ndivelisinger as a person. Vote me for my personality, for my, not personality, my manifesto policy. If we are in power, we have a social contract. We are going to call a constituent assembly where all the ethnicities in the Cameroons, including their legal advisor, will sit, will draft a new constitution from scratch, will recognize the two countries that came together. We are not going to use France CFA in British Cameroons. The people of La République du Cameroun are free to use the money that they signed with Aijo under the cooperation agreement. We are not going to be in CEMAC. We are free to join ECOWAS. We are free to join Commonwealth. We are free to join anything that will benefit the people of British Cameroon. If they decide, the people of British Cameroons, they say they want to remain with La République de Cameroon. We can remain the two countries united, whether republic or united, whatever you call it, of the Cameroons. We recognize those two countries. If the people say one day they don't want to be together, majority, they have parliamentarians, they will give them a referendum. That is democracy. Don't kill people because they say they want independence. Because yesterday marked how many years that King Charles I was executed, tried and executed in London because of he was a tyrant. He wanted to impose his rule on the people. So some African leaders, they do the same thing. They impose their rule on people. You are not God. The relationship between a government and the people is a social contract. They have given you limited power to do certain things, not absolute power. And when you use absolute power, you're like King Charles. The laws that you're using to torture people, they might use it one day on you. It's the same law that they used against Saddam Hussein. It's the same law that former Syrian president